Welcome to the Forza Motorsport 3 new DLC, the Community Choice Pack, which has a lot of, cars that most of the fans have chosen through the year that Forza Motorsport 3 has been on the market. And we're going to start with the American Motor Company, or AMC, Javelin MAX, from 1971. As you know, the Javelin, or if you don't know, was the response to the actual muscle cars. But of course, the Javelin became a bit later than its predecessors, such as the Mustang, the Camaro, and many much more. And so it didn't sell good. In fact, it was one of the crosses for the AMC. And so, since this is an American car, a real muscle car, with a real American self-built V8, it needs a real American track. And so I'm going to choose Road Atlanta. I mostly like to test my cars on Road Atlanta because it's a real variable track, and also the concrete is really different from the actual tarmac used on tracks. So it gives a real difference from other cars. Driving, of course. Sorry. So we're ready, and ready for the race. Remember, I am not using stability control or traction control, so I'm just using the anti-block braking system. Whoa, ho, ho. Do you listen to that? That's a pure American V8. And, it's mostly handleable. Maybe it's the track or the concrete on the road or something, but this car makes a lot. It has a real good handling, even if it runs on those GC old springs. I mean, the suspension, they're like, those old cat wheels from the Middle Ages. Well, it's the same. But this car handles pretty well. It's really agile. And I love it. Well, I love most muscle cars, but this muscle car handles pretty well. Also, its gears are pretty short. Look at me, I can't go further. It has real four gears. Wait until I modify it. Maybe I can add a fifth gear or something, but this car only has 4 gears. It's typical from the 70s cars. Of course, my real favorite muscle car is the Ford Mustang. And then I admit that the Javelin, it's a really good car, but it didn't make well because it came really late. Yeah, I know, that should burn the engine, but it didn't. This is a time trial. Look at that! That's some handling! Haha! Whoa! Easy there, girl! I'm not done yet with you. So, it's a really pretty car from the outside. It's like a mashup of the most known muscle cars, and also the stripe from the AMX series. It's really pretty. It's really original. I mean, I've saw Cudas, I've seen Camaros and all that stuff, but this is pretty original. And also, it has the same fun as American V8 muscle car, but it handles well. Really, I didn't found a car that handles so well from the 70s. And look at that! I'm already crossing the 150 mile per hour hard border. That's really hard. I mean, this car is as powerful as a Dodge Challenger. It was, you know, I mean, AMC did a good car, but it was released on the worst moment that muscular cars could appear, which was the 1973 fuel crisis, and that was really sad, actually, because it made disappear most of the design of muscle cars. After that, they became all dead. Until now, of course, since, oh my god, they released the Mustang in 2005, what they were thinking about, and they have done it again. But sadly, AMC disappeared during the 80s and the 90s. And it's really sad. I mean, muscle cars were real keepers, and everyone and lots of drivers keep them as a childhood memory or a fantasy, and I still love it. I love these cars. They're really powerful, they have that sound, and they were really different from the actual cars from the time during the 70s. While we had real sporty cars from the British or the Germans trying to get some prizes, the Americans were trying to do lousy cars with very cheap materials, which were really cheap, and they consumed a lot of fuel, and yet they were really fun. Seriously, no one will change my idea for muscle cars, even if I care about fuel economy. I mean, these cars are desires. And like I usually finish my videos, here's a crash! Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, this isn't over yet. Yes, you want some distraction, do ya? Yes, you want it. That's right. So I'm going to crush this car until its nose is completely destroyed. Yes, I love it. This is for the haters of the car. Because I know you guys, you don't like muscle cars, that they're really lousy and they have that bad handling as much as this car, but that's right. Well, this is over. Goodbye.